All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It's been a little while since we had an episode. We're throwing out at you when we can. We're dropping those episodes, and some of you, it just ain't enough, and you're just dropping those F-bombs at me. But hey, I'm trying to keep you happy. We've been asking questions for you on the daily, and you guys have not disappointed me in that. You came through with some really good ones. Replacing the word eyes with thighs. That was pretty funny. The saddest song ever. Songs to do with weather or days of the week or names of people. You guys are doing a great job. We'll be doing more of that. There will be some more episodes coming up. We're going to get at least 2 concert reviews in the next week or 10 days or so. And we're just going to try to just do whatever we can to get episodes out here and there. I was reading an article that this band put out their final album and tour, a farewell tour. The band is X. The album is Smoke and Fiction. And again, an almost 50-year career. They're on their last tour. The band X, if you just put X in Apple Music, it doesn't exactly come up right away. There's just not enough information in X. It takes a little bit of time to get there. And I thought, well, what other bands or names have the letter X in there? What bands have a whole lot of X's in there? Is there a band called Xerxes? That's a lot of X's. Anyway, how about the XX? Like that. King's X, In Excess, XTC, Styx, The Fix, Jimi Hendrix, XYZ, Static X, Lillian X. There's more out there. What you got? Anyway, the band X, if you guys are punk fans, then you know exactly who this is. But they are legendary in the punk world, especially one of their albums. But they've been at this, again, for almost 50 years. Punk band out of L.A. Exene Cervenka, John Doe, Billy Zoom, and DJ Bonebreak. And that's who they are now. That's who's touring now. Pretty amazing. 7 studio records between 1980 and 1993. They reunited in the 2000s and toured in 2020. Toured in the early 2000s, put out a couple more records, 2020, 2024, 2 more records. So 9 studio records. And I'm betting that a lot of you don't know who X is. And that frustrated them throughout their career, but they were signed to an indie label in 1978. And then a bigger indie label in 1980, Slash Records. And they put out their debut album in 1980 called Los Angeles. And that is the one that is considered one of the greatest all-time great punk albums. And when we say, and it was produced by Ray Manzarek of The Doors, by the way, but when we say punk, we're not talking Fugazi or Sex Pistols. We're not talking any of that stuff. This is more like, this has got a hint of really rockabilly to it because of the writing of John Doe. It's almost very much poetry-like in that regard. So anyway, but it's definitely interesting in his punk music for sure. And that one, just, looking back at that one, I get some great reviews. The second album, same thing. They signed to Elektra in 1982. The critics and fans, they love these records. Second album had the song White Girl on it. Just a great song. I don't know if you even hear that anywhere these days. But they just could not get the mainstream. And by 87, they were done. Again, in 93, they had a new album called Jesus. In 95, they had a album called Unclogged. And that's when I first heard of X. Just to tell you the truth, I heard of them in 95 because of Unclogged. And this was an unplugged record that was all the rage in that time. But there's a song on there, 2 songs. One, Lying in the Road. Amazing. I still listen to this song a lot these days. But I have never, I'm always playing that. So it's on my rotation. It's great. It sounds a little bit like country in a way, very much in that way. And then, of course, the great Burning House of Love on there. This is some great music there. And the voice of John Doe, very particular and very unusual, and it's just really, really good. And again, the band X itself, White Girl and Los Angeles, those are 2 tracks that you really needed to pay attention to. But this new album, Smoke and Fiction, is classic X. I mean, as far as what they were doing a little bit later, it's got some great songs on there. Water and Wine, Come Back to Me, the title track, Smoke and Fiction. How about this one? Flip Side. Catch you on the flip side. That's a good song. But speaking of John Doe thing, I was listening to NPR some 10, 12, I don't know how long ago. Well, no, 20 years ago. I didn't even look it up. And they were talking about X. And they were talking about the John Doe thing, which was his side project. And I think Exene Cervenka's on that, too. Or his wife. His wife is on there? Yeah, anyway. John Doe thing put out a record, Kissing So Hard. And this was great. And they played a little snippet of it, and I was like, wow. And I bought that record, and we'll post that one below. But that's a great song. So, X. And I didn't even do them justice because they have these 7 albums, and we can go into more of their songs. And if you're an X fan out there, you're going to be like, hey, Mark, what the? I'm dropping on you. But we're at 6 minutes already, so you should check them out. We're going to post some stuff below. But we're going to post some new stuff, the Flip Side and Smoke and Fiction. I particularly like those. We're going to put White Girl down on there. We're going to put Los Angeles on there. We're going to put John Doe thing, Kissing So Hard on there. Just check this music out. Some good stuff. And they're on this farewell tour. I'll have to check and see if they're coming this way. But it's a pretty big deal. X. The band is X. Did I say it enough? X. What? Just enough X's there. All right. Check it out. We'll see where we're at with some more new episodes. Keep tuned in, and we'll come in that back at ya. All right. Whatever you're doing today, I hope it involves music. And as usual, catch you on the flip side.